Testing. Your mic's on and leave them on.
All right, that one's on.
And then Scott, maybe yours. All of you all have to.
Huh?
Is it picking?
Oh,
Is
you
it
don't-
picks up though?
I gotta have your mic on. Watch what you say.
Hello.
She said all of us still here.
Hello, hello, hello.
Oh,
Get your harmonica out.
maybe we sing a duet maybe or something?
Yeah, exactly.
Is that your map?
You'll see people tuning out.
Yeah,
They'll
I
start
love
singing.
it. I love it.
That'll be-
I love it.
Well, my cousin.
See, he's
Want some
going
live
to
music for first meetings?
that one, he's part of it.
Right.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Sign it. Sign it.
Do it.
Sign it. Did you sign it? Hmm. Thank you. Here. All right. Well, if we've got everybody here and everybody's ready, I'd like to bring this meeting to order. We do have a quorum, so we're all good. And if we could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, if we could have a motion on approving or a motion on the agenda for tonight.
Make a motion that we approve the agenda.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? That's unanimous. And then if we could look at the minutes from our last meeting, and then if we could get a motion to approve those.
Excuse me.
Anybody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes last month.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor? It's unanimous. No old business?
Yep, that's right.
The new business. Tyler?
Yep. Yeah, Mr. Chairman, thank you. Would like to, if we could, do the oath of office for Tamika Hopper.
All right, Ms. Hopper, if you can come over. So, let's see on camera. right, Tamika, I'm going to do the oath of office to the planning board. And if you would put your left hand on here and your right hand up and just repeat after me. I, Tamika Hopper,
I, Tamika Hopper,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and maintain
that I will support and maintain
the Constitution and laws of the United States
the Constitution and laws of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith,
and that I will faithfully discharge and that I will
that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of my office
the duties of my office
as Planning and Zoning Board,
as Planning and Zoning Board
Board of Adjustments
Board of
member.
Adjustment member.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Yep. Congratulations.
It's great to have you here.
All right, so next on the agenda is going to be 4B Spencer Ridge Subdivision Development Agreement Review. If you look in your packets, I have place in your packet several documents that we're going to be looking at tonight. Those documents are going to include a little cheat sheet for kind of what is a development agreement. That's going to be the first document you're going to see on top of the cover sheet. And again, I'll go through all of these. I just want to highlight kind of what they are. The second one you're going to see is the City of Laurel's Development Agreement Guidelines. It's going to show you the different phases of kind of how this project and how this agreement goes. The next document is going to be the General Statute 160D that authorizes the use of the development agreement. After the 160D document, you're going to see the rezoning, the zoning document for the Spencer Ridge. And I know some of it's kind of cut off. I will get a better copy of that if you need. And then the last one behind the rezoning is the actual development agreement. That's kind of what we're going to be looking at tonight. And once we go over that, we're not going to go over it. We're not going to go, I'm going to hit some points, kind of what we're really going to be looking at, and answer and take any questions that you might have that we can take back to the developer or staff or the attorney or legal. So I've got some things written down up here, like I said, that I'm going to have us make sure we look at and kind of make sure they're going along with the ordinance. But I'm just going to give a little bit of a highlight of kind of what the development agreement is. I want to believe we went over what a development agreement was in past meetings. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I thought we had, but I know we have some new members here, and kind of just, kind of bring them up to speed on what it is. So what a development agreement is, it's an ongoing effort to make sure that the development is following their timelines, responsibilities. They're meeting these deadlines that are set within the agreement. They are building to, or they're developing to their district, to what their zoning district is. Before the rezoning, it was SFR 3, I believe. When they did the rezoning, it changed it to SFR 4 to allow for more homes on the property. Currently, I believe the number's at 422 homes, and they're going to have a clubhouse. The trail is going to be there. So a few things that this document's going to have in it to kind of, move this process along. Again, any kind of enforcements that we may have to do inspection-wise. So it's just kind of a legal binding document that brings the two parties together, the development and the city of Lowell. Anybody have any questions on that part?
Just looking through it, the landscape buffers,
Mhm.
what all does that include?
So that's going to be, so we have, so in the ordinance that we have currently, there, it requires them to, say, a tree save. So they're not just going to go in there and just clear cut everything out. It's going to save the trees and have a buffer that will, be in line with our ordinance.
Okay.
So, like I said, after we go through this document tonight, we will need a motion to either recommend it to go to city council to be put on the agenda for a public hearing, that we're going to have some type of motion to move it forward to the next step after we go through it. So currently, we have done phase one. We've done the project evaluation. We've gone through the staff agreement and negotiations. We're currently at phase three, the planning board review. So again, that's where we're going to start at tonight, is to review this document. So if you would just go ahead and if there's no questions about anything before we'll go ahead and get started reviewing some of these, reviewing what it is we need to review.
I think if we remember back to when this first came through, I know Norris, me and Norris were at, I think you guys were here too. It went from R3 to R4, so they would do a smaller footprint and leave a lot more untouched land.
Right.
And that was the trade-off, to let them have R4 over the R3.
Right.
So, keeping that in mind. So they promised to do high-end finishes on the homes, and they promised license plate reader.
That's going to be in there. Yes.
Yeah, and there's a few other things. I don't know who was here and who wasn't, but just to refresh
I think
it.
everybody was here except for me.
Okay.
Okay.
But, so that's kind of where we kind of went with this. So now we're jumping off from there.
Okay. Yes, so if we want to flip over to the development agreement, if we want to flip over to that page, we'll start there. So all the information that we're going to be talking about tonight, or that I'm going to be, presenting kind of to you, is going to be from Article 7.15, and let's see if we ready? Okay. All right, so per Article 7.15, development agreements, if you look at it, it says authorization and capabilities. So it says the first one says, and under A, it says the North Carolina General Statute authorizes the use of the development agreement for the development of land in accordance with the criteria and procedures established in General Statute 160D, which I have provided for you in your packet. In addition to any of the development agreement proposed for an eligible project, a development agreement established must use 7.15-3 of this ordinance. So that's where we are with this document. So they have taken 160D in accordance with that and use it inside this document. So if we can flip over to page 2 of the document, the first thing I want us to look at is the ordinance states, the development agreement shall establish the period of time for this completion of development and construction of the project to the agreement. So if you look at page 2 and you read and you read down through this, on this document, they're proposing that this be done. They don't specify a time. They put it in phases, and that's something that that they're going to work. So they're going to finish a phase and then move to the next phase. They're not going to be able to move past one phase before it's all completed out. So that's kind of how they have laid this out for their agreement on that aspect of it. Is everybody good with that part? And again, stop me if we need to, or ask any questions that that's needed. Again, we're just basically going to be looking through this document. I have added a few things that we want to check for as far as dates and times, because again, those are going to be key to getting this, keeping this thing on track. And so it starts. So they're like I said, the phase part goes on page 2, and it comes all the way over to page 3 at the very top, where it says where they will do it in phases on page 3 at the very top. We see that. Okay. All right. One thing that we should check under 17.5-2, the content of the agreement. It states in the article, the development agreement shall establish the property to which the agreement shall apply by the metes and bounds description attached to the agreement as Exhibit A. That's what the ordinance states. However, in this document, they're calling it Exhibit B. I mean, they're calling it Exhibit B. So I think that's one thing that we need to change as far as this agreement goes. And again, if you have
What are you proposing on that? Instead of Exhibit B,
so they have.
That's, by the way, that's on page 3, the second item.
Yeah. So they've put the so under whereas on page 3 at the top, they have put in accordance with phase schedule attached here to Exhibit B. But if you look in our ordinance, if you have your book with you under Article 7.15-2, our ordinance states it should be in accordance to Exhibit A, and they have marked it B.
So that's just a typo.
So when we're going through this, we kind of need to look and see. Okay, that needs to be changed too.
So are they referring to our ordinance Exhibit B, or their Exhibit B that's attached to them?
So under our ordinance, they have everything, and when you look at it, they have everything as Exhibit B. But in our ordinance, it should mimic what our ordinance says in Exhibit A.
Okay, so their Exhibit B
Should be
changed to Exhibit A.
That's correct. Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
They don't have an Exhibit A.
Because they need to change it to A.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
If we go back to the, including the time period for completion, was there a time period? You said they were going to do it in stages. Did they actually give a time period on it?
Yeah. So if you look at on page 3 at the bottom, so they're not giving a date. So I think you are right. I think we do need to say, hey, it needs to be done in X number of months or by this date. I think you are right. We do need to give a time.
Can we give them per stage? They could give dates per stage if they want to do 1 at a date and then 2 at a date.
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
So I think we do
I
need
was
to.
reading it here somewhere, though, they have to have it done in so many years. Is that not in our,
That's on page 5.
yeah, they
Yeah.
have to have it completed within a certain amount of years.
But they don't even have any date when they complete anything.
Right. So
that's
it-
missing.
Yeah, so there's no commencement date on here as of yet, because again, we haven't gone. When it actually becomes a final draft, then I believe they'll have a date put in there.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
that without permits and the changes that's gonna be made, and they're dependent upon the city and county scheduling, so
Right.
for them to put a date in there, it's probably not gonna work for them or us.
Yeah, so once it's, once it's recorded and
Not yet.
everything.
Not yet.
Right.
But by the,
Just trying to get a permit out of Gaston County right now.
Exactly.
But but going back to Scott's question, he's saying that he believes, or he would like to see them put a date as, if you're gonna start with phase 4, let's say, you need to have a date of when do you project this project to be done?
Right.
If I'm hearing you correctly.
yeah, before it goes to city council, that definitely needs to be put in there because it's definitely missing out of it, and that's part of the ordinance.
I wasn't saying nothing.
Okay.
So we're looking at more of a completion date than a commencement date. Is that what I'm hearing? And what
It
is?
says here, that including the time period for completion, needs to be put under 715-2 on page 2, kind of in the middle paragraph. So, that's kind of what I'm referring to. That, before it goes to city council, it says right there that it needs to be in there, so, we would hate to send it to them and it'd be incomplete. It's okay for us, but by the time it goes to
Right.
council,
Right.
just making sure that's something that has to be, right,
Okay. So are we good there?
yeah, I
Okay.
think so.
All right. So we'll flip on over to page 7 and 8. This is, again, I'm going to read the ordinance and we'll point it out where it's at in here so we kind of know. I'll let everybody get there first. Okay, so the ordinance says, "The development agreement shall cite all terms and conditions applicable to the development of the land subject to the agreement, including standards and/or specifications that differ from the provisions of this ordinance." So they have put that on page 7. They have put that if you look down there where it says where we're gonna shall give the on number 8, it says the developer shall provide a 12-month warranty period for all infrastructure to serve the intended development. So they are putting that in there. So they're going to do. They have provided us with a time frame as to when they plan to do this. So that box is checked. So I think we can, move on from there, from that one. The next thing is to kind of just look over on the page I inserted that has the marked up red drawing on. It's like a little. I slipped it in there for page 8.
Now, do we have to have these times and dates before it goes to city council?
So we're trying to make sure that that's the biggest thing kind of right now is that we get all of the time frames that are in our ordinances, that we get those and make sure those are inside this document before we take it to council for them to approve the public hearing. So like I said, we're trying to get that's why I want to kind of go through. I'm hitting some of these points throughout the ordinance to make sure that these dates and times are in there. And that way I can take any questions back to the developer and with legal.
So we're not necessarily in a big hurry.
Yeah, we are. We need to get it done because again, we need to get it pretty much finalized by Tuesday of next week, because if it passes tonight to go to council, then any questions or any kind of revisions that we may want them to add in here or take out or anything like that, those need to be addressed, you know.
So is the developer gonna be able to give you the dates and times by next Tuesday, when you have this meeting with them?
So I think they're gonna be able to get close. They're gonna have to get something in this document in order for, yeah, because if not, council's gonna wanna know. So again, we're gonna have to put something in this document, you know, stating this information.
So when are you gonna talk with the developer?
Once the meeting's over tonight, in the morning, I'm gonna have to get all the comments back to him that we've discussed tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think if it goes from us to the council, it'll have like a caveat that, you know, these things need to be fulfilled
Correct.
for the council, you know.
Okay. Well, okay. All right, so yes, if you look at the one I slipped in with the red marks up on it, that's the transportation improvements, and these are these are things that are done by the DOT, the TIA, the traffic impact analysis. So it's checking to see how many cars have, you know, come up and down Lowell Spencer Mountain Road. If there's going to be any kind of improvements, need to be any kind of improvements to that road, those are going to be completed and inspected approval from DOT. So again, that's one thing that we added in there that they did not have in there. So that was something that we had to put in.
Have they done the traffic study yet?
They have done that. We just got it back today. We didn't have time to fully look over it. It was about 32 pages, so we hadn't had to. But we did get that put in there, though, that was going to. And that is one thing that they're going to have to do, is have that traffic analysis.
And DOT, with that traffic study, when do they send recommendations with the study, or does that come later?
So that could be inside the analysis. Again, I haven't had time to review it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting to know if they sent the recommendations with the study itself, or if that's going to be coming later.
Yeah. Again, like I said, we didn't get it till late, and so I hadn't had time to look at it. Yeah.
That's good.
Okay. All right. So that let's see. If you flip back to page 7.
Before you go back,
Yeah.
can you send us all an email with what you get out of the DOT?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I can definitely do that. Okay. Yep. So flip. Let's see. Sorry, flip to page 8. So the ordinance says the development agreement shall provide that the delivery date of such public facilities will be tied to successful performance by the developer implementing the proposed development. So if you look at page 8, and then you look at number 11, it's that they do specify that in there, the delivery date of the public facilities may be provided by Section 8. So if we flip to Section 8 to see if they have actually put a date in there. They have, it says the developer shall provide a 12-month warranty for the infrastructure. So they have put that in there, so we can say they have done their part on that by putting the date in there. If you look at that on page 7, number 8, they have put that in there.
Now, which page 8 are we supposed to be
Oh,
looking
sorry,
at?
page 8 of the not marked up one.
They're not,
Yep. What happened was, when I printed it out, they didn't have the traffic improvements on there. And I already had all the packets put together, and then once I got an email saying, hey, we need to get this part put in there for y'all to review, I had to slip it back in, I had to slip this part in there. So that's why that one only looks like that.
Because there were two
The
number 11s on.
that's right,
The red marked up one.
right. So again, these are all things that, as we continue to review it, things need to be added, from the rereading the ordinance and putting things back in there. All right, so we've looked at that. The next thing is going to be, if we flip over to page, let's see. Let's see. I think it's going to be page 11. Let's just make sure. Oh, no, excuse me, page 12. This is just, we're going to look at number 24 on there. And it's basically saying what's going to be enforceable about this. It says that they're just trying to say that this whole document shall be if something were to happen and they don't end up doing it, the rezoning part of it will still stay the same, but this document would then be null and void. That if the developer decides, hey, we're going to back out on this particular one, the rezoning stuff will stay the same and all the requirements for that property. However, this document will not be. They will not be held liable for anything after that. And then let's see. I think the last thing we need to look at is is at page 11, and it's going to be number 20. If you want to read over that for a second. So it basically says in this one, this is for inspections. It says the city has the right to conduct necessary inspections. However, if the city shall have the right to withhold permits or other approvals in the event of non-compliance. So it's given us the right to say, hey, if you're not going to follow the agreement that we had agreed on, we can withhold the permits after we have inspected it and found that you not to be in compliance with this agreement.
And who would be our inspector?
So that would be whoever the city decides to take on as their engineer. So they'll have construction inspectors and field inspectors out there that will report anything back to us, and then obviously if we we'll come back to this agreement and say, hey, this is what the agreement said. This is what we need to uphold. So it will not be anybody inside law. It will be a third party. Whoever like I said, the engineer firm they select. Does anybody have any questions that they want me to take back to staff or, any questions just in general about this. I know it's a lot of information and, we're still working on some stuff inside of this agreement. But again, this is something that we needed to get in front of y'all for you to review in order to get this, to take the next step or whatever that may be. Like I said, I know we got the one from Scott about the phase. I'll be glad to take any other questions back that you may have. I mean, whatever it might be.
I have a question about the enforceability.
Okay.
So, on that page 1224, does that mean like this whole document that we've created is null and void if they don't complete the project?
So, I mean,
It looks like to me it's saying if there's one area that, they're not completing, it doesn't affect the whole thing. Just because, in other words, if they don't get B right, they can't throw this whole thing out the window. They have to deal with B,
Okay.
if I understand that right.
yes, and there'll be, and they're gonna have, if you look at, let's see if I can find it in this agreement. Yeah, I mean, there's gonna be, procedures in place that, like Norris was saying, that's gonna require them to, finish out, something that they have completed. And again, that's why we're gonna say, hey, you have to finish phase 1 or 4, whatever one you're gonna start with, before anything else where it's gonna be approved. Yeah. Because again, that could, that could happen. They could just decide to not keep going. What else? Any other questions that you'd like for me to take back?
Just a question I have on the exhibit, since
Okay.
the B is actually A, there's several other pages here that has exhibits that we don't really have anything on them, but you have exhibit C, you have exhibit D,
So,
E.
yeah. So I think.
Those will all change, because they'll have to all be changed, right?
Yeah, so again, this is the latest document that I have from legal and from their legal side. So what I'm presenting to y'all today, this is the latest version of what we've seen. This is it. So again, what you see and what we have reviewed as far as staff here in house, this is it. So again, we've just basically gone through the ordinance, through this document, and again, we're picking out things that we see that need to be changed. That's why we want to kind of y'all to review this and make the next recommendation
Did
step.
they charge you for the blank page?
So there is an exhibit A that they have, it's just,
Yeah.
it's just not.
Yeah. So about.
referenced somewhere else in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's labeled B.
Well, no, because they have exhibit A at page 17 is an exhibit A. So,
So it could just be but maybe, and again, they might just have their exhibits.
so that
They might have
could
just-
be right.
Still, they just have to make sure that when they present their exhibits, it's how our ordinances spells it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So they may have to reference
Right.
another site.
Correct,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right. That's good.
again, feel free to flip through and kind of see what you may have questions wise.
Looks like they left out an exhibit on page 3 on the second line. It says exhibit blank. It's,
Oh, yeah, okay, I see where you're at, yeah, at the very top.
Yeah. But that doesn't seem to reference the,
Right, so they need to,
looks like some of it's occurring when they put this. Oh,
Because everything's on that right side, it's just that small area on the left side. Yeah, they're very small.
Did you say they were going to start maybe with 4?
Yeah.
And then work their way to some?
yeah, I know the face schedule is kind of hard. It's even hard to see on the computer, but there is a copy of it in the packet. Yes, I want to believe they're going to start with the phase 4. I want to think, because I think if we.
Yeah.
Well, I think that if y'all would like to put together a motion of some sort, probably contingent on fixing some of the problems before it goes to council, because I don't think we need to present it to council before kind of in a row. I think you might have to surround that, so if you're thinking of that, if anybody would like to make a motion, feel free to go ahead.
Gosh, that's a lot of verbiage.
It is a lot of verbiage.
Yeah, that's a lot
Yeah.
of verbiage.
All right, I'll make the motion that we move forward with the development agreement for the Lennar Homes, in particular, was it Spencer? What's the name of it?
Spencer Ridge.
Spencer Ridge Development, with the dates being inserted prior to going to the council.
Okay. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. And all in favor? Unanimous.
Thank you. All right.
So,
Yeah. And next on the agenda is map amendment rezoning for Choice USA. That's in the packet as well.
Do I need to leave for this
Yeah,
one, or
yeah,
just staying for voting?
I think it'd probably be best if you just stepped out. That's what I think.
Come back in.
Yeah.
after.
And
She's going.
Heather's gonna
she's going
excuse
to
herself,
recru-
but-
Recuse herself.
yes,
Yes.
yes,
Just be sure and come back.
yeah.
I will come back, just make sure to come get me. Don't just leave me
Yeah.
sitting.
And so Heather's stepping out because she works for Choice Beverage. Yeah, and this is what the rezoning. It's for Choice Beverage, the Sundrop plant on Grove Street. All right. So if you look in your packet, we received a rezoning application for the Choice USA plant. And what happened? What it is that they're trying to. So it's about 18 acres of property. The front half is zoned industrial. The back half is zoned mixed use too. So about 5 acres of the back is zoned mixed use too. They want to expand their business for the bottling service there. In mixed use too, that is not allowed in that district. So they're requesting that this rezoning from mixed use to industrial to match what's the front of the building is. So again, it's going to affect about 5 acres of the property that they're requesting to be rezoned. So they're looking for the rezoning from mixed use to industrial.
How much did you say approximately was the front?
Well, the whole track is 18.79.
13 would be the front.
Yeah,
They've already cleared that land, I believe, or.
they have.
Yeah.
They have.
By any chance, do you have the plans for the development going on Willow?
So yeah, Willow Creek Meadows.
Yeah, whatever.
I think it's Willow Creek Meadows.
Yeah, it's Willow something.
Yeah, Willow Creek.
Do you know where that will come in
reference to
relation
this?
to, yeah.
I do not have that information with me. Most of that around there it's either in the mixed use or the single family residence. However, this rezoning would be in line with the 2040 plan for the Lowell's 2040 land use plan. So it would go. It would fall in that category.
I think the question though is how close that comes to what will become a residential with those townhomes.
Yeah, that's definitely something we can look at.
Well, you've
Yes, I
got
mean, they're gonna-
that large mixed use two buffer
Yes, sir.
right there.
Yeah, so if you look at the map that I've inserted on there, the purple is the front part of the building, and then the checkered part behind there, that's what we're looking to rezone.
Am I to assume that, see with the little SFR3 over here, is that would be, so you've got all that brown in between that and the townhome, so
Correct.
it's gonna have a lot of separation.
Yes, so that's gonna it's gonna have the Sundrop plant, and then you're gonna have the,
Mixed use two.
Yes.
And then, so there's all
Right.
that,
Yeah.
which, if that's basically 5.3 acres, so that means that's, a lot of
Yes,
acreage to
yeah,
get.
because the front part, the whole area right here is 18. So I mean, you can see how much land in the MU2 behind there you're going to have.
And all that MU2 is not gonna be developed at this time.
No, just this section right here.
Yep.
That's just the Choice USA. Yeah, nothing back here.
I just wanna make sure that it's not
There are
gonna butt
no
up.
plans for that, I think is what he's asking.
Well, I just want to make sure that all that is the buffer between the townhomes and Sundrop. I don't want
Yeah.
Sundrop building out, 10 feet from where all the townhomes are.
No, and they'll be required to do all the land, I mean, because of the project and the size and the cost and all that, they'll be required to keep the buffers and the landscaping buffers and everything in there.
Okay. But all that MU2 would be buffer at this point in time?
Correct, plus
Yeah.
what that, plus what they'll have too, as well.
Yeah, and on top, okay.
Yeah.
And that, I just want to make sure we're not building right up next to those
Right.
townhomes.
So again, you can see the map, like I said, I've attached the map in there, I've attached the zoning application, the rezoning application in your packets in there.
And that's what comes out on 74, right here.
Yes.
That's on,
Seems consistent.
service repair, so that's 74 down here, that's right.
How is that?
That's 74 frontage property, unless it's correct commercial over there.
I was worried
So
whenever,
this would be,
I don't want
yes.
to build right up next to the townhome. It was concerning me.
That's good.
So,
So-
I think that,
So that we will need a motion
Yeah.
for me to set a public hearing at the city council.
so if there's any more discussion, questions or anything, if not, we could go to a motion, if somebody would like to make a motion.
Make a motion that we approve the request.
Okay.
Make a motion, we approve the request.
Excellent. So I have a motion, and do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Okay, all in favor? That's unanimous. Okay, well,
If somebody wants to
you-
somebody wants to get Heather and come back in, then we'll go over the last thing.
did you get anything else? Did you have something else?
No.
Don't go back tomorrow telling everybody it won.
You're just in time to make a motion.
Well, yeah, that's it. If I could get a motion to adjourn.
I have the plan report attached if you want to look at it and if you have any questions on it. That's it.
Okay.
Just the planning report's attached on there. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer those.
Okay. Well, I don't know, did we, oh yeah, at the very back. Well, that's, 6 zoning permits in March. We are busy. Did anybody have any, questions?
Joe's last day is Friday.
That's correct.
Well, I think if that's it, if I could get a motion to adjourn,
Motion to adjourn.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I second.
I have a second. All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you.
Yep,
Yeah.
thank you.
Just another task.
Yeah, but you can keep your mouth shut, though. Secret. Keep your secrets.